Fasilides, also known as Fasil or Basilide, was emperor of Ethiopia from 1632 to the 18th of October 1667, and a member of the Solomonic dynasty. His throne name was ʿAlam Sagad, meaning, to whom the world bows. He was the son of Emperor Susenyos I and Empress Sultana Mogassa, born at Magazaz in Shewa before the 10th of November 1603. His paternal grandfather's name was also Fasilides. Fasilides was proclaimed emperor in 1630 during a revolt led by Susenyos, but did not reach the throne until his father abdicated in 1632. Once he became emperor, Fasilides immediately restored the official status of the traditional Ethiopian Orthodox Church. He sent for a new tribunal from the Patriarch of Alexandria, restoring the ancient relationship that had been allowed to lapse. He confiscated the lands of the Jesuits at Dankes and elsewhere in the empire, relegating them to Fremona. When he heard that the Portuguese bombarded Mombasa, Fasilides assumed that Afonso Mendes, the Roman Catholic prelate, was behind the act, and banished the remaining Jesuits from his lands. Mendes and most of his followers made the way back to Goa, being robbed or imprisoned several times on the way. In 1665, he ordered the books of the Franks, the remaining religious writings of the Catholics, burnt. He is commonly credited with founding the city of Gondar in 1636, establishing it as Ethiopia's capital. Whether or not a community existed here before he made it his capital is unknown. Amongst the buildings he had constructed there are the beginnings of the complex later known as Fasil Gebi, as well as some of the earliest of Gondar's fabled 44 churches: Adababe Iosis, Adababe Tekel Haymanot, Artatmi Mikhail, Jemjabet Mariam, Fit Mikhail, and Kedah Saba. He is also credited with building 7 stone bridges in Ethiopia. As a result, all old bridges in Ethiopia are often commonly believed to be his work. Emperor Fasilides also built the cathedral church of St. Mary of Zion at Āxum. Fasilides Church is known today as the Old Cathedral and stands next to a newer cathedral built by Emperor Haile Selassie. The rebellion of the Agathon Laster, which had begun under his father, continued into his reign, and for the rest of his reign he made regular punitive expeditions into Laster. The first, in 1637, went badly, for at the Battle of Lebo his men panicked before the Agathon Sultana leader, Melchor Christus, entered Fasilides' palace and took the throne for himself. Fasilides quickly recovered and sent for help to Kegnazmishdimo, governor of Semyon, and his brother Gelorgius, governor of Begemder. These marched on Melchor Christus, who was still at Lebo, where he was killed and his men defeated. The next year Fasilides marched into Laster. According to James Bruce, the Agath retreated to the mountain strongholds, and almost the whole army perished amidst the mountains, great part from famine, but a greater still from cold. A very remarkable circumstance in these latitudes. Fasilides dispatched an embassy to India in 1664-5 to congratulate Aurangzeb upon his accession to the throne of the Mughal Empire. In 1666, after his son Daud rebelled, Fasilides had him incarcerated at Wini, reviving the ancient practice of confining troublesome members of the imperial family to a mountain top, as they had once been confined at Ambergeshan. Fasilides died at Azazo, 8 kilometers south of Gondar, and his body was interred at St. Stephen's, a monastery on Dagger Island in Lake Tana. When Nathaniel T. Kenny was shown Fasilides' remains, he saw a smaller mummy also shared the coffin. Among told Kenny that it was Fasilides' 7-year-old son Isur, who had been smothered in a crush of people who had come to pay the new king homage.